The Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, declared today that the MK party will continue to use former President Jacob Zuma's name as an identification on the ballot paper for the May 29th elections. Please, before we continue, kindly hit on the subscribe button. However, Zuma's name will be struck off the party's parliamentary list in accordance with a recent decision by the Constitutional Court. This ruling comes after a lengthy legal battle that resulted in the Constitutional Court's ruling last week. Because of his past legal issues and continuing corruption prosecutions, the court determined that Zuma's inclusion on the MK party's parliamentary list was illegal. The IEC is required by the judgment to make sure that Zuma's name is removed from all official lists of candidates who are qualified to hold parliamentary seats. The MK party, formerly known as the Umkhonto Sizwe Military Veterans Association, had already produced and distributed ballots with Zuma's name clearly visible, the IEC stated, notwithstanding this judgment. To alter the ballots at this stage would be logistically unfeasible and financially burdensome, said the IEC. The MK party confronts a challenging political environment, having mostly benefited from Zuma's popularity and influence among certain voting groupings. Although Zuma's affiliation is still a significant component of their brand on the ballot, his removal from the parliamentary list may have an effect on how well they fare in the elections as a whole. Political observers predict that voter opinion may be impacted by this conflicting choice. Political analyst Thabo Msimang said, Zuma's name on the ballot might still attract his supporters, but his lack of direct participation in parliament may disappoint some. The judiciary's importance in maintaining South Africa's election integrity and rule of law is highlighted by the Independent Election Commission's, IEC, commitment to the Constitutional Court verdict. The MK party and its supporters now have to navigate this new political reality as the election date draws near. Once more, Julius Malema, the head of the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, party, recently gave Gogo Researcher Ramakalo in massacring a house that is accessible to those with disabilities in a touching show of solidarity. During this deed of compassion, Malema spoke to a sizable assembly while on the campaign trail and emphasized his dedication to provide the best possible care for those who have impairments. Gogo Researcher Ramakalo, the beneficiary of the specially modified house, expressed her appreciation to Malema and the EFF during the emotional ceremony. She expressed her happiness and gratitude for the priceless present, while emphasizing the profound effect it will have on her life. She made the heartfelt pledge to back Malema and the EFF in the next elections, demonstrating the close bond and feeling of allegiance that are cultivated by such acts of kindness. Malema has always been committed to promoting the welfare and rights of underrepresented groups, especially those with disabilities. He has made a strong case for inclusive policies and programs that empower all people, regardless of their physical ability, throughout his political career. His party's dedication to guaranteeing that everyone in society has equal chances and access to resources is shown by this gesture of building a house that is handicap accessible. Beyond simple symbolism, the provision of a disability-friendly house is a concrete illustration of Malema's vision for a society that is more compassionate and inclusive. Malema and the EFF are leading the way for other political leaders and parties to prioritize the well-being and dignity of persons with disabilities by attending to the practical needs of people like Gogo Researcher Ramakalo. Acts such as this are poignant reminders of the potential influence that political leadership may have on the lives of common people as election season draws near. Malema's vow to keep fighting for the rights of the handicapped population appeals greatly to those who respect social justice and compassion. Ultimately, it is deeds of compassion and understanding that create enduring bonds between elected officials and the people they seek to represent. Julius Malema, the head of the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, party, recently gave Gogo Researcher Ramakalo in massacring a house that is accessible to those with disabilities in a touching show of solidarity. During this deed of compassion, Malema spoke to a sizable assembly while on the campaign trail and emphasized his dedication to provide the best possible care for those who have impairments. Gogo Researcher Ramakalo, the beneficiary of the specially modified house, expressed her appreciation to Malema and the EFF during the emotional ceremony. She expressed her happiness and gratitude for the priceless present, while emphasizing the profound effect it will have on her life.